So, with me tonight, I have my good friend Dagger. We have our buddies Thunderwack, and it's just Ian. Say hi to the folks, guys.
What's up,
What's up,
guys?
guys? How you doing?
So, today we're here to talk a little bit about our favorite topic, relics. Today we're going to talk a little bit about characters we think everybody should have or should start working on getting up to R7. Not necessarily for any requirements that are to be future content in the game, but stuff that makes your whole roster a much more better roster. So, who wants to go first?
Well, I'll go with probably the first character if I were you to take to Relic 7 is General Grievous.
Absolutely.
Because you can put him single-handedly in a Separatist team at Relic 7 can wipe things out. And he's going to help you in a lot of phases of the game. Grand Arena Championships, territory battles, territory wars, stuff like that. And on certain nuke teams you use in Arena for whatever shard you're in.
He's also just kind of a one-man team, which is one of the biggest benefits to him.
Mm-hmm.
You don't need a lot of support around him. In fact, you almost want a couple of them to be kind of poopy.
So he can, because his Zeta will allow him to refresh right away.
Yep.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And he's got a capital ship too.
Oh yeah,
Excellent.
We can't forget. Yeah, we can't forget about that.
Thank you, Ian. Yeah, one that I don't have unlocked. That's why I didn't think about it. So,
Oh, it's good.
It's nasty,
It's fun to play. I will say that.
Really good at low gear. That's one of the reasons I like it.
Well, I want to give mine. You're probably not gonna think of this one, but I think old Daka is a must-have for the Night Sisters. I don't know if we're going through every faction or not, but both with Daka and Jolie, I think.
You said Jolie.
Yeah,
I agree with you 100. He was going to be one of the guys
right.
I brought up because he single-handedly allows you to have a Jedi Knight Revan squad at Gear 12 that can continually survive against other teams because of him.
Yeah, that's pretty much the same reason for Daka. I mean, well, today it wasn't a very good showcase of my Daka. I was trying to get a counter going versus Grievous, and it didn't work. But I had really bad RNG with the revives. But typically, you can either rock a Daka lead or you can toss a Mother's Hausen lead in there. Have Gear 12, Gear 11 Night Sisters. You have like a Relic. Mine's Relic 5, 130k HP. She is pretty much invincible. I mean, it's really hard to kill her. And you just get revive after revive, proccing her unique with the extra HP. If you have even another Relic, what's her name, Saj in there, she can get a lot more HP. So you can have almost two people alive the entire time with, of course, zombie. And I mean, you get the stuns as well. It's just, I don't know. When I'm looking at somebody, especially for GAC, I like to always base my things for these Gear 13s in GAC, and I guess some TWs. I never really see people with Daka Gear 13, and it's always when I'm like, well, why not? I mean, it's
I always check their Daka because Daka's going to tell me how much effort I have to put into that team. So I do agree. I think Daka to R7 is probably one of the wiser investments. Again, because Night Sisters they're just always going to be around. Whether they're a B team, C team, A team, and we can argue semantics all day long on what relics they have to be an A team, but they beat most teams in the game on offense.
And they're still, in my opinion, the most unique faction in the game.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I was going to say they are also they've kind of always stuck around the meta, kind of like CLS has. They've kind of always just stuck around the meta, properly modded, you can beat anything almost.
Yeah, another thing that I like about these Night Sisters is you can use them on offense, and then you can place like for example, if you had them built for countering Grievous, and you typically would use JKR versus that. Well, guess what? You can either use and keep JKR again, or you can place them on defense. So, I mean, the banners there, yeah, you're going to lose some on offense, but it's going to force an extremely tougher team to counter JKR, which I think is very, very awesome. So I like that a lot.
A quick mine is Han Solo. I think that, and yes, CLS fanboy, I get it. Original trilogy hater, CLS fanboy. You figure out that riddle.
Yeah.
No, I think it's Han. He's one of the first characters you get in the game. I remember when one of the first unique special.
And as a newer player, he's much easier to get now because the pit rate can be simmed and stuff like that.
I remember doing a video with Thunderwack when Gear 13 was like shown like the stats, and it's like he got 1,000 offense, which then was a huge deal. And then Relics came.
Oh
like,
my gosh,
what's 1,000 offense?
Static.
We were because he said we were like, okay, we're gonna relic like Darth Revan, we're gonna take Darth Revan to Gear 13, whatever. And all of a sudden, Dagger tells me, you need to look at CLS, Chewie, and Han, and look at how much damage increases when they go to Gear 13. And we're like, oh my god, I can't believe it!
And like that's the level of excitement I have because like I have this like fascination with teams that like do one thing and do it absurdly well, which is one of the reasons. So I would say Han because R7ing him dramatically changes the landscape on what that team can beat. A Gear 12 Han can beat a Bosk. An R7 Han can beat every team that is currently in the game.
Mm-hmm.
Well, you need a supporting cast as well. I mean, you can't just say you need Relic 7 Han. You're going to need, of course, Chewie and CLS if you were to beat, the top tiers.
Sure.
And
but you don't have to have them Relic 7 in my opinion.
Yeah, but it's the same as the DACA argument in my opinion. Where like if your Han is R7 and your supporting cast, like I would say Chewie at R5 and CLS at R4 is like the minimum floor.
Yeah, absolutely.
But the amount of investment you get for the one R7 is so high.
Mm-hmm.
Same with like DACA and Jolie. Being able to shoot first out of the gate with an R7, like it. I mean, obviously this is like my favorite team.
Definitely.
So I think it's a safe bet. Similar to one that I think Kyle's going to mention.
Yeah. Mine with GG and Han, and it hasn't been mentioned, JKA. That guy's a monster. It is so much fun just sending him in for an AoE and clearing the board. And you don't even have to mod him that well to even do that. Like the pure raw power he has, it's invigorating. And the fact that I'm pretty sure that there was a GAC video in the last 4 weeks where JKA beat a Darth Revan team by himself because I just had bad RNG. Or maybe half of one. He soloed it, just wiped it out. He's so much fun. Getting extra. I like characters that get bonus turns for when things happen.
I also like the fact that, to kind of piggyback on what you were saying about the bonus turn, I like that, and this goes back to Ian was the one who kind of championed this team versus Darth Revan, the slow Padme team. The condition for him to take his bonus turn, like, is borderline beneficial for the Padme once you get all the Zetas on it, because you're likely going to have Padme death marked, which means she's going to get a free turn too.
Mm-hmm.
It just snowballs. Like the condition isn't hard; it's like half health, and Padme heals 50% or whatever. And it's like the condition's like not like it's not like General Grievous who takes his bonus turn after someone dies.
Yeah.
Right? His bonus turn happens in the after your barrage. And then he gets to go nuts. And I think that there's something to be said for the sustain of a character like that I mentioned with Han, where he's just not hard to proc. And in TB, you take your characters into TB, you take your Padme team in, their opening barrage gets them to proc, Padme heals, takes the turn right after, and then you're off to the races again.
Yeah.
And I really think the simplicity of his kit, because it's not a super complex kit.
No, it's not.
No.
I really, really like the simple kits that are good.
Mm-hmm. Well, and that's I have two characters in mind here. I'm just gonna bring up one of them. Bosk. Bosk is a character that I have reliced because Ian brought up earlier the importance of ships, and the Houndstooth is still probably the best overall ship in the game in the sense that it can be used in every lineup. Houndstooth is going to be used in a Falcon lineup with the home one. It's going to be used in a Negotiator lineup, and you're going to use it in a Separatist lineup in some way as well. So that's just the first part. I have him Relic because the Houndstooth is more powerful, but I know a lot of people like to use Django leads and stuff like that. I still use a Bosk lead, and I can put him as a leadership when I do.
The other thing too, and just to kind of touch on the Houndstooth, CG keeps trying to make faction-specific tanks to push the Houndstooth out, and they keep failing. He's still better than the Y-wing, and he's still better than the Hyena Bomb.
Yes.
It's a little closer with the Hyena Bomb.
Yeah.
I think pretty much everyone here mentioned a pilot except for Ian, so shame on you, Ian.
Hey.
In fairness to Ian, he did bring up that General Grievous did have a ship.
Yeah.
Yes.
No, I'm giving him a hard time because I think Kyle stole one of the ones he wanted to name, but
I was gonna go with Bosk next, but I mean it's all good.
Okay.
Yeah, the Houndstooth is it's too good, and especially now with these assault battles and also some of their counters you can pull off now.
Thank you. Yes, the assault battle. Yes.
Yeah, he's also a strength tank, I believe. So I believe that gives him. Isn't that the one that gives him crit avoidance?
With the relics? Let me look.
Yeah, I'm not 100% sure.
I can pull mine up.
I have it up right now.
He has extra armor, health, steal, and protection. It says.
Okay, so it's the GK one. Yeah.
Yep.
The other. Yeah.
Yeah.
So, getting extra protection is good because under Bosk lead, I think that there's an underrepresentation to a certain degree of bounty hunters because Bosk lead is still good, but not great. It's kind of I'll compare them a lot to Night Sisters. They scale with the amount of effort you put into them.
Right.
Exactly. Brilliant point.
If you have Gear 12 bounty hunters, they're probably not good on defense, and they're probably going to be slightly below average on offense. But if you actually sit down and put the work into your bounty hunters, Gear 13, and put relics on them, put their Zetas on, you're gonna just get this I don't want to call it a reward because you just get what you pay for with this team. Anything,
but it is a reward because you put your time into it and you're rewarded with how they do.
Yeah.
So it is, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and that's one of the bounty hunters and the Night Sisters. I think you get exactly what you pay for.
Yeah.
So I think Bosk is a very solid one. And honorable mention with him, I'll mention Django. I mean, Boba's cool too, but I mean, Django doesn't need Zetas to be good, and he just benefits so much from the relics because he's one of those crit chance crit damage attackers.
Mm-hmm.
And what more do you want from your attackers?
To do damage? You want your attackers to do damage? What a novel concept.
Let's say most of our Gear 13s that we're going to be choosing are either going to be tanks or attackers.
See, I do just want to bring up this one more character because it's eating at me not saying it. Geonosian Brute Alpha. Because
you get 2 for 1, so what's not to love about that?
And you take him to Gear 13, you have it at a decent relic, you have him with the Zetas. The Geonosians can become yes, they have their counters. Okay, yes, you can beat them with Bastila, Jedi Knight Revan, and a Traya team, but they're also pretty good on offense. They're just a solid. I'm not saying they're an A team. I'm not saying they're a C team. They're like a good B team. And they're
pretty close to an A team actually. They're pretty solid. Actually.
Yeah, I was going to say they
in my opinion, I would if you take Geonosian Spy to Gear 13 and have a few relics on him, the damage output is going to help you a lot more. I don't have that yet, so I'm probably not where you guys are at, but I definitely think because he single-handedly helps create that faction.
If I'm not mistaken, I think I have the only relic spy in the chat right now.
Yes, sir.
Yes, you do.
I'll get there.
Oh my god! I have
honestly,
something you guys don't.
I'll get there in 2 years after I'm done farming for Legends.
I honestly think it comes down to if you acknowledge S tier, and if you do acknowledge S tier, how many teams you put in the S tier. To whether or not you consider Geos.
And most of the S tier people, you don't need or a whole lot of high relics on,
Yeah, but that's what I'm saying. So if you acknowledge S tier, it depends on how many teams you put there. But I think I would call the Geonosians a B team because I think the S tier is whatever you use to climb an arena, and I think that's 3 or 4.
That's why I called them B team too, because I agree with you.
I mean, I think they're B plus A minus. They're very, very good. I do agree. They beat a lot of things, but I think the one downside to them is that they only punch across. And by that I mean like you can't consistently beat a lot of teams with a lot more relics than they have.
Yeah.
And if you want to go at it at a GAC standpoint, like I always like to do, is defensively they're not very good. Even if like you have them all, I wouldn't say all Relic 7 because that's kind of nuts. But if you have like some of them Relic 7 or Relic up rather, GBA and Spire, the couple I would always see, it's not going to hold that well. If you know that guy is going to be using Treya and Scion, I mean, this is why JC history is now a thing. You can see better what they're going to use. And if you know for a fact they're always going to use that, I might recommend that you actually save them for offense and toss someone back like either JTR or someone else on defense to really throw them off. Just because there's so many counters to those guys right now. Typically just Treya. But I like to actually keep them on defense anyways because I have a little bit of Padme in the back wall, a sleeper Padme. So it kind of pulls that counter. It's fun. My next one. So Wat Tambor was one I was going to go for, but that's just an obvious one, and I don't think many new players will have him 7-star. It's going to take a while, so I think I'm going to go with Relic 7 Nest because she can solo a lot of different teams. She can solo close to max, if not maxed out Padmes, JKRs without Bastila Shan in them. And she can solo, Nest, any buff-heavy teams in the game. She's gonna be able to solo them. And if you don't want to use her on offense, you can place her on defense. And it is not fun having to now kill a Relic 7 Nest with over 70, 80, almost 90k HP, and that daze mechanic and the counter attacks. It's just really hard. And it's just one of those characters that I would really recommend. It's just so good. Yeah, she doesn't have a ship, but she's just so plug and play, and those great banners you get on offense too. I mean, if you think about it, if like I said, for GAC, if the guy's going to always place his Padme on defense, you can bring in Kira, your Nest. If you have Wat, bring in Wat, Hoda. You can beat that team, and you can save another team for defense. It's just something so awesome. I love it.
Yeah, so Nest is a stupid character, but in a good way.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's a good point. Can I just throw in one more? I think I have one more I want to throw in.
Yeah, go ahead.
So this is one I was talking about a little bit ago. I thought this guy was a support. He's not. It's Vandor Chewbacca. He's a tank.
Is he really?
Yes, he is actually labeled in the game as a tank.
And his Zeta can make him ridiculously frustrating to deal with.
It is insane. This guy, if you guys have not seen or heard of Clash, he does a lot of theory crafting with the Scoundrels, and I think this guy, Vandor Chewie, is one of the best. It's not just Scoundrels, but like pretty much every kind of where you want to use him. He's just so good, especially with the Scoundrels. I mean, Relic 7, I had to fight somebody, I think my GAC last week, that had one. That was Relic 7. He tossed him, I think, like a Karth team or something like that. It was weird. But he had like 90k HP, and on top of that, with his the Beast, you lose your 40% of your max protection, but you gain 80% HP. So I mean, just think of that. It's going to be ridiculous. And on top of that, whenever he is buffed, the enemies they deal 25% less damage, and it is the theory crafting potential with this guy and other Scoundrels is insane. Like I was saying with Clash, I'm giving some love to Clash because this new team I just saw a couple days ago, or I guess yesterday, has him in it. And also Stormtrooper Han in it, and he was rocking Stormtrooper Han lead with this Vandor Chewie, and he gave guard to Stormtrooper Han in the lead. Gas does not crit him with guard, and then Vandor Chewie also heals. If you didn't know this, he heals other Scoundrel allies based on 10% of his max HP. So if you can just think of that, the crazy potential there with just the recovery and the protection, and then the less damage from enemies, and on top of that, he has a revive. Yeah, he's just so good. He's just so good.
To kind of piggyback on that, my next one is kind of a twofer. It's Mission in Zalbar. I really love it when CG makes characters that like interact between two people, and when you build characters like Mission in Zalbar that work so well together, you allow them to be just plugged in places. There's like, if you put them with Vandor Chewbacca, for example, they're both light side Scoundrels. They get rezzed, healed. It's just, you have so much assisting. You have Zalbar is so tanky.
Well, the thing with Zalbar, yeah, he's a tank, but I mean, he is plug and play too. You don't need him with mission. He is so plug and play because of his unique. He has stacking defense. It is insane. I mean, if you think about it, it is disgusting. It really is. And he's scoundrel too.
Yeah,
I mean,
I
bet
just
there's
also
team out
love
there
Mission.
with. Yeah.
So that's all I'm trying to say is I love that it was also kind of trying to go for the two character synergies, like Resistance Finn and Resistance Poe, right? Like the Resistance Resistance heroes. I like it when you take two characters and you just make them just blatantly just
feed off
peanut
of each
butter
other.
jelly guys.
Yep.
I mean, you can use them individually. I'm not saying you can't, but I really love how you do that. And then on top of that, Mission does so much damage when you relic her. And Zalbar is just like one of the best. I think he might be the best plug-and-play tank in the game that like doesn't have like a team that we would consider like an A-level team.
And they're needed to get Darth Revan as well.
Malik.
Malik, that's what I mean. So you're not throwing away anything like that if you're concerned.
Yeah.
And I don't know like the limited characters we're supposed to bring up, but I have one more character I want to bring up, and it's probably not as necessary to take to Relic 7 as need be, but it's General Kenobi. And it's because he's used in so many different teams in so many different ways. Obviously he's in the Padme team right now, is the best team he's in, but also he has the Negotiator. He has a ship just like Grievous does, and that makes a big difference. So am I saying when you take him to Relic 7, it's going to be like a Han Solo where he completely changes the entire team? No, but he does raise his protection. It does make him a better character, and it helps the Negotiator, his Negotiator as well. Yeah,
he's another one of those where he's just like stood the test of time.
Yeah, he's never gone away.
The last one I wanted to bring up is we don't even have a kit for him. We've all bitched about them for like at least a week or two now. Apparently, you're going to need Rose. The Galactic Legends. These characters are literally built to be R7.
Yeah.
Or at least they better be. Right?
Might be a stretch.
Yeah, I think I think
or maybe these are the characters that at R7 they unlock a special ability, their ultimate ability or something. Maybe that's what they were testing with Traya.
Yeah. Anything else you wanted to touch on, guys?
I wanted to mention my last.
Right.
Yes.
My last recommendation to R7. She's not overly outstanding. She's kind of goes partially with GK and Jedi Knight Anakin. Ahsoka. She's constantly assisting. The damage she does is absolutely ridiculous. And B1 would be another probably honorable mention for me to take to R7 because he's constantly assisting. He's just putting raw damage on the board. But Ahsoka, I chose Ahsoka over B1 because she also has a ship. Woo!
Great point. By the way, both those characters are great characters to Relic.
Yes.
So you're not wasting on any of them, but I agree with you on Ahsoka.
I think you should look at any character that takes more turns than what they have. So, I mean, CLS fanboy, let's rock it. Right? Like, no, I'm serious. Like, I think that it's always worth looking into them because you're especially the attackers that attack out of turn or assist. Like, it's so much extra damage when you R7 them, or even just relic them up a little bit. I've lost to like a B1 plus Grievous before B1 plus B2. B2 doesn't do anything, but B1 assists him, gets all those extra turns.
Echo is another character that assists a lot, and because along with the new ARC Trooper and the turret, your point is exactly correct. Look at those characters because they're going to be doing more damage throughout the battle than everybody else because of their assists. Yeah. I think my last thought before we end the video here is, by the way, who would be pumped if the Bad Batch would come to the game?
Oh, hell yeah.
I don't even know who those people are.
Have you haven't seen the new Clone Wars episode, Ian?
I haven't watched any in a couple months. I'm still on season 3.
Okay.
Well,
then it would make sense.
Basically, it's a group of 4 clones that can go under Shock T. So I'm all for making my paper Shock T.
There you go.
They're accidentally genetically altered clones that are like monsters.
Like
quick question is what
okay,
happened.
gotcha.
My quick question is what happened to the ones that didn't have positive deformities?
They helped like 99 when he had to help
No,
clean up everything.
I know. I didn't want a real answer. I wanted
Spoiler alert.
I know
the janitor clone. Yeah.
Hey, I remember watching. Yeah, he died, didn't he?
Yes, he did. Correct.
Rip.
Poor guy.
But
Barely-
no, I would love to see him, mostly because I have a double Zeta Gear 12 Shakti that is a paperweight.
Hey guys, if you're just now finishing the video, I want to appreciate it. It's been a great time with Thunderwack and Ian, hanging out with them, talking about their opinions, and hopefully with this video, you guys, it helps all you guys listening and watching make some hard decisions. You're giving up a lot of resources to get these characters to R7, and there's a lot of payoff in them. So I hope this helps you. If you like Thunderwack or It's Just Ian, their links are down in the description. If you like this video and want more content, please let us know in the comments. Give us a like, a subscribe, and let us know what you want to see. Stay tuned for our GACs this week, and may the force be with you.